U.S. ports are bracing for a surge in cargo now that those shipments leaving from China and heading to the U.S. carry a 30% tariff instead of the 145% levies that have been in place for the last 6 weeks. Starting today, the temporary lower tariffs are in effect for 90 days as the U.S. and China try to negotiate a new trade deal. These high rates that have been crippling devastated America's ports, which saw a dramatic slowdown in cargo. They're now preparing for the opposite, a major upswing as businesses and consumers stockpile Chinese goods. Joe Moglia is with us now. He's the former CEO and chairman of TD Ameritrade. He's currently the executive advisor to the president of Coastal Carolina University. All right, Joe, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think businesses will stock up, and what is that going to mean for us because tariffs are still 30%?
I think, Brianna, first of all, I think for small businesses and large ones alike, I think it's a sigh of relief. And the tension, I think, that's existed over the span of the last few weeks, we really pretty much hasn't gone away totally, but it certainly improved with regard to what's gone on over the weekend. I think when you look when you look forward, I think there's a lot of really good things that's going on with regard to the economy, and I think with regard to the markets. I think we can't underestimate the impact that AI is going to have with the president, with the president and the cabinet. They are pro-business. We're going to have deregulation. We're going to have lower taxes. They're working on that now. We've got an accommodative Fed, and again with
Are businesses going to stock up?
The tariffs behind us. I think businesses will start to stock up, but they're not going to go crazy. You can't go from one extreme to the other without knowing what's going on. And we still don't know exactly what's going on. They can't overdo this. But I think they definitely take a step in the right direction. They start stocking as opposed to stock up.
Okay, so 30% tariff still in effect on what they're stocking up on. Who pays for that? Are we going to see higher costs?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to pay for that. But the importers pay for that. So no matter what that is, that's ultimately going to be higher cost for the individuals. We're going to be paying more with that. There's a threat of inflation, and again, the threat of tariffs staying really high for a longer period of time. That's where the threat of recession comes in. So this is moving in the right direction. Keep in mind that 30%, 20% of that is fentanyl. So if things improve with regard to fentanyl crossing the borders, the 30%, at least that 20% of the 30% starts to come down. But again, a big step in the right direction. Not there yet, but a big step in the right direction.
So JP Morgan's recession odds, as you mentioned, recession, it dropped below 50% on the heels of this breakthrough with China. Notable because last month it was 60% at one point. The risk still elevated, though. How are you looking at that?
I would look at it similarly. First, I think I've been bullish all along. And I think part of the reason why I've been bullish, now near-term scared, but long-term bullish, is because, frankly, our president, I think he's doing a good job, but he's also a narcissist. So there's no way that a person that has that mentality is going to wind up looking bad. So he makes a big deal about he being a deal guy. He certainly talks about his success relative to the performance of the stock market. So if we go too far in the wrong direction, which we started going a little while ago with regard to what was going on, and he came in and made it ease things, and the market started to take off with that, he's not going to let us get into trouble. At least I truly believe that. And I was surprised that there was much of a turnaround as there was over the span of the weekend, but the turnaround was significant enough for everybody to go, calm down a little bit. So I feel pretty good about that. If the tariffs continued where they were, which was kind of crazy, 100% we're going to have a recession. If tariffs continue the way they are now, too long, and we don't get clarity about this in the next 90 days, then JP Morgan and all those brokerage firms are going to increase the concern about recession. But right now, it looks like at least we're heading in the right direction for the time being.
Yeah. And in April, the president was saying the country will be making a fortune. As you game this out, best case scenario, short term, long term, how do you see it? And will we be making a fortune?
No, I think the reason why he's saying that, he's saying because of the tariffs, he said ultimately we will be in such great shape as a country. We'll have our deficits be in control. Our debt's going to be better. All these are going to be better, and we're going to have much more business than we've ever had, and we're going to get incredible incremental revenue with regards to income and with regard to taxes. That can't happen now. Now, if everything that he's trying to do now turns out to be really, really strong and we have a greater impact down the road, then we'll move in that direction. But that's not happening now. Right now, our costs are going up. The threat of inflation is still there. And unless we have clarity with regards to the tariffs, the reality is we don't know. But I think his plan is to move in the right direction. But that's not going to create crazy income and crazy revenue at all in the near term.
Yeah, we'll see what his promises are here this month, certainly. Joe Moglia, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brianna.
Great to have you.